I'm a music teacher and I have never heard the music from Super Mario 64 before in my life. So join me as we discover hidden connections, understand how music works, and have some fun along the way. Let's get it started with It's-a Me, Mario.
It's me, Mario.
Wow, and for the first time in all of this mainline Mario games we've listened to, we finally heard it. It's-a Me, Mario. Let's keep going with title theme. Interesting. Wow, interesting. Huh. Wow. Well, a really interesting rendition of, to call it the Mario main theme overall, whatever name you're going to give this. Really interesting stuff going on here. What I want to point out to you right now is the differences between this and the first time we heard this piece of music. The first time we heard this piece of music, the motif structure was bum 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 bum. I'm paraphrasing. Bum 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 bum. Well, I just did that wrong twice in a row, but that's okay. You get the idea of what I'm going for. We had an A-B structure, right? So the first idea is bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum, and then we have bum 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 bum. Now I'm singing it the way here. There we go. Bum 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 beep 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 beep. it's all messed up in my head now. Okay, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. You have an A idea, then a B idea. Now, what we hear in this version of it is we hear the motif A idea. Now, I've colored it green for the way that it lines up with the original version, and then red for where it deviates from the original version. So we have bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 ba bum ba bum ba bum bum or bum bum beep beep bum 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 in this version. And then there's like silence here where normally we'd hear another A and another B. We don't hear the A and B here at all. There's just silence, and there's, well, it's not total silence, but there's no melody there. There's a drum beat playing. Okay, now, next up, we have bum, 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 bum. And then instead of going to the beat, goes straight back to the A. Bum, 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 bum. And then we're not done with the A. We hit the A again. Bum, 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 bum. And then finally hits the B. Oh, bum, 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 beep, bum, beep, bum, bum, bidum. And then again, silence, where we just have drum beats for an A, a B, and an A would have been. And then finally, oh, bum, bum, beep, bum, beep, bum, bum, bidum. We get the B. So it's like taking bits and pieces. It's like playing a Mario puzzle where you're taking the different ideas and putting them in different orders than they were originally. Type a 4 in the chat if you're picking up what I'm putting down with the moving around of this really, really interesting rendition of the main theme. All right, let's keep it going with Peach's message. Hey girl, what you talking about? Okay, so really interesting there. We actually heard some rhythmic motifs. I'm alive. Right, okay, so we're hearing the gesture from inside the very first. That's from the B motif right there. The yump, yump, bum, bum. 3-note, yump, bum, bum. Yump, bum, bum, beam. Normally it's 4 that we hear in the B motif, but here it's taking the first 3 notes of B. And again, the first 3 notes of B and bring them down. Type a B in the chat if you could hear the B idea in Peach's theme right there. So type a B in the chat if you could hear that it was borrowing from the B. Krakatoa says it. Flarp has got it. We're live, by the way. This is a live stream. Sephiruz has got it. And I apologize in advance for my mispronunciation of your beautiful name. Tri-Lighting is insisting that Tri-Lighting is not a B, which I don't know. I've heard rumors stating otherwise, so, you know, what are we going to do with that? And let's keep going. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh my. Oh! Yo, we are gonna unpack the ever-living mushrooms out of this piece right here. Okay, this is so cool. Let's go full screen, iPad, boom! Okay, I'm sorry, I just accidentally did a product placement for a certain largest company in the world who shall, from now on, remain nameless. Hey, you know, let's break this down. This is really cool. So what we're hearing in this is actually ideas we've heard throughout Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. We hear the idea of a drone. We hear the idea of C major. We hear the idea of, the pedal tone. So it starts off with, if I was a C Mixolydian, what chord would I be? Well, if I was a C Mixolydian, okay. Oh. Yeah, but we want the E flat. No, we don't want the E flat. Okay. No, we kind of do want the E flat. Yeah. What chord do we want there? All right, here it is. So we have this underlying note of C, and on top of that C, so you have a C down here that's just cooking right along. And then on top of it, we've got like this implied C major, and then this maybe implied F major, and then we go to this, which it's kind of like a E flat major, kind of, sort of, or you can think of it as being a G minor of sorts. Or we could think about it as being a, yeah, I mean, I'm really, it's like, it's that right there. It's bringing in the feeling of going to a dominant 7, but it's not actually a dominant 7. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry, B flat. I'm doing okay. I just had my blood drawn, and maybe not thinking as straight as I could be right now, but we're gonna keep cooking on this. So, by the way, if at any point in time I see the word pineapple, that's just because I meant to say the word Mario, and instead the word pineapple came out. Yeah. So that is taking us like to a C7 there. And then here's where it starts getting interesting. Oh, and then like the bass is going to a D flat. Ooh, a flat 2. So cool. Now to a 2 minor. We're back in the key, and now it's like the 5. You see me, the 7 diminished. The 7 diminished of 3, and then we go to 3. Okay, so we've got this going on here, and then I'd call that a flat 3 right there. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. And then it's like we have a 2, and then it's a 5 with a, oh my goodness, a sharp 5, and then it's actually a 5 to a, it's a flat 5. Oh my gosh, the altered chords continue on here. Wow. Really, really cool stuff. And we're just getting started. What a delightful, incredible, awesome chord progression here. We're going to keep on rocking and rolling onto this next one, which is going to be called Theme Bob-omb Battlefield. Oh my. Let's check it out. Oh, that's fun. This is Koji Kondo. Sweet. Alright, it's looping now. And I'm going to give myself the liberty of pausing it because we're on the loop. Up on the loop. That is a inside reference for all you 60s music fans. Okay, we have I think. Here we are, 1, 4. E flat major. Okay. Alright, we're at 3 minor, flat 3 major, and then we got ourselves a 2 to 5. Ending on a half cadence. Please, sir, may I have some more half cadences? Please, sir. All right. All right, cool. And then the second time through the A section, it's going 1, well, really, 1, and then I'm going to call it the 5 of 4, aka a 1/7. 4 to 4 to the 7 diminished of 5 to 1 in second inversion. And then what happened? Well, I'm calling it 1 in second inversion. And then I'll just call it 5/1 there. Whoa, Nelly! Oh yeah, and it repeats. B section. Alright, so B section. Okay, is it 3 or is it 1? Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. Yeah. Basically 2 times. Oh my goodness. By gum, he's got it. He's got it. All right, and there you go. Yeah. Snap a picture of that for later if you're a composer and you want to create your own music, or even if you're not a composer, you just think of yourself as a gamer and you want to create your own music, snap a picture of that for later, because once you understand a little bit about music theory, that there holds the code for the underlying principle of how this entire piece was made in terms of the harmony. You build everything else out on top of that. So you could actually take this exact same thing, copy all of this, and just as long as you change the melody, you're free and clear. That's not copyright protected. Now, if you are a gamer, you want to compose your own music, I created a free starter pack for you. I put the link in the video description. Go click on that. It's for you to help you get started creating music. My gift to you, one gamer creating music to another. All right, let's keep it going. Okay, well, I'm gonna call that motif. That right there. Oh, dude. All right, now I know we just listened to that loop twice. I gotta listen to this one more time here to make sure I got this right here. Okay, so let's talk about this because this is now apparently a legitimate melody motif we've now heard a couple times here. So I've actually bothered to write it down. And what we hear is the first time. Or let's do it up an octave. There it is. And the second time we hear it, it sounds like this. Sorry, the first time we hear it. All right. 1, 2. I wrote backwards. There we go. We just made it a little cleaner. I'm not going to keep track. All right, so the first time we hear it, it's. Oh, no, I had it right the first time. 1, 2. All right, so the first time we hear it, it sounds like this. The second time we hear it is. The first time is. The second time we hear it is. No, that doesn't make sense. I had to write. I had it actually right the second time. Oh my gosh! I just lost 10 viewers on this live by messing that up. That's okay. All right. 2. All right. How do I know this is the first one? Because it's ending on the 2. This one's ending on the Juan. All right. So. Let's understand what's going on here. Why is there a difference between these 5s? Why did I color one 5 that it would be blue and the other 5 that it would be red? Well, according to my calculations, if my calculations are not incorrect here, the red 5s are actually a note that we could call A for 40 hertz, which means it's an A note. That's the name of the note. And how we know it's an A is because the sound wave is going to cycle. This is like, the way sound works is sound goes in waves that hits your ears vibrate, there's little bones in your ears that vibrate, and that's how you hear sound. Now, we're hearing this sound wave cycle 440 times a second, all right, aka the hertz. And when it cycles 440 times a second, it makes this A sound. Now, if we have an A that cycles 220, yeah. We have an A that cycles 220 hertz, it's going to sound lower but similar. Check this out. Type A in the chat if you can hear that there's a similarity between these two sounds I'm playing. One's lower, one's higher. Type an A in the chat if you can hear that these are similar. All right, we've got Lemund, not Alex. Well, thank goodness Alex is not here. Alex Navarez is not here, so we got not Alex. We got Charlizard 064. Hey, Charlie 064. It's been a while. Pim Pom 1. Crutch McGee. Hey, Crutch McGee. Been a while. Jamu 1396 and Critterbot All right, you guys are hearing it. Okay, so what's that connection? That connection of the doubling or the halving, right? So think about it. If we take 44 and we divide it in half, we get 22. If you're like, what? Well, if we take 4, we divide it in half, how many do we get? We get 2. Now we just do that twice, right? And then we just keep the 0 because you can't divide a 0 in half. Okay, so what this is a mathematical relationship that's going to keep the name the same. It's still going to be an A, but it's going to switch the what's called the octave register of the A. So the octave register of the A, the difference is 440 to 220. We could also go to A 880, which would be up here, right? And we could go to A 110, which would be down here. And it always halves and doubles as we go between the different A's. So the lick, the motif we're hearing here is playing back and forth between the A, again, if my calculations are correct, the A440 and the A220 back and forth to create that feeling. And really cool stuff. What an interesting melody, and it is a prominent melody that is standing out by virtue of the fact of jumping back and forth between these two A's, which is not something that you see every day. So cool. This is awesome. Type 6-4 in the chat if you're having a nice time so far and you're enjoying the stream. And let's keep it on, keeping on with this next one. Oh, this is cool. Interesting. All right, it's looping now. I want to point some things out to you. Type a B in the chat if you can hear, yeah, bum 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 bum. That B idea that we've heard through our main motif. So Peach equals the B idea classicalified. Saying, Dan, hang on a second. I don't think that's a word. Guess what, buddy? It is now. You know, what I said the first time. Dump, dump, dump. You also have that dump, dump, dump from the A of this. You have the bum, 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 right? And then it's not the bum above. Then you have the bum, 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 beep. So you have like, it's like Peach's theme is like the first part of A and first part of B, like smushed together, equals what's going on with Peach. Hey Peach, how you doing? Oh, you know, just smushing some A's and B's together. Don't smush the B's. We need them for pollination. This next one is called Looping Steps. I wonder how much longer that was going to go for. I mean, doesn't that feel like we're just going round and round on some looping steps, never ending? Why is that, you might say? Well, listen for the pattern. Even if you know nothing about music, you're going to be able to spot a pattern here. What do we hear? We like long, 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 short, 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 short. Long, 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 short, short, short. Long, 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 short, short, short. So we're hearing like four long gestures. Dubba dubba da dubba dubba da dubba dubba da dubba da dubba 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 dubba. It's like 4 longs and 4 shorts if I'm counting correctly there. And even if I'm not counting correctly and I'm off by 1 somewhere here, you still get the idea. There's a pattern. And if you can recognize the pattern, you can understand the music. Let's keep cooking to the next one. I have heard this before. This one I've heard before. Gorgeous. It's actually pulling from the Mario victory theme here. Back and get this B section next time. Gorgeous. I'm writing the wrong thing, that's okay. Oh, come on, baby. Do it. That, first of all, was, before we even break the music down, that was absolutely gorgeous. I love that. I have heard that before, though I don't think I've heard it all the way through. I think I just heard the first couple seconds of that one time. I'm doing a secret project that will remain secret for a little bit of time, and I was listening to some video game music as part of that secret project that will remain secret for some time, and I did listen to the first part as part of that project. Now, I'm going to bring this back here for a moment here. That's not 3. That's a 1 in first inversion, that is. That is 1/3. Same thing here. Or maybe I misheard it the first time, but that's okay. Huh. What is that? Yeah, sure is. Okay, so I'm gonna call that I mean, really, it's like a descending chromatic connector thing here. If I was to label it, I'd call it the 7 diminished of 3. 7 fully diminished 7 of 3. And then it did a quick 2 to 5. That brings us back around. So here's the chord progression for a dire docks. Now let's actually break down the melody a little bit. Okay, actually before we do that, here's what's really cool. Right here is the Mario victory theme that we've heard. Those are the same chords. So we've heard, and in fact, the way we can think about the Mario victory theme is not that it starts at the beginning here, but rather that the Mario victory theme actually starts here. And then when we loop around and repeat, we get it ending right there. So we get that flat 6, flat 7, back to the 1. Really cool. Now let's understand the melody. To do this, and to save time, I'm going to put this at 1.75 speed. 2x speed, even. Well, we'll call that subphrase A. But we're not going to break it down into motifs right now. And then we're going to call it ba-dum-dee. We'll call that subphrase B. Okay, now we're going to be back to be subphrase A. So is that actually the same? Wow, man, that's like an A prime. That's close to it. And then we've got like another A, and then like little B. And at this point, I'd say we're talking motifs here, actually. So like we're going inside. Yeah. So we'd have a subphrase A again, and then a subphrase B. We're just breaking this down like motif style here. Now, what's really cool to see about this is this motivic structure of A, B is something we've seen throughout Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3, and Super Mario World. This, as far as we can see so far, how many times can I use the word far in a sentence, is going to be an overarching melodic structure used in Mario music. Let's keep it cooking. Lethal Lava Land. I have heard this one too. So it turns out I've heard 2 pieces from this. I have heard Lethal Lava Land. You might ask why. Well, if you go on this channel, you can find that I created my very first lava theme ever. I composed it and actually documented the process, and one of my inspiration tracks was Lethal Lava Land, because if you go on YouTube and you type video game music lava, I guess what comes up, and I was like, oh, Mario, cool. All right. And again, that's on the channel here. You can actually watch me create my first lava theme ever in real time. All right, let's check this out. That's still 2x speed. Okay, so I'm gonna break down just a little bit of the melody of Lethal Lava Land here for dude, shush. And so what we have is we have one idea, which we're gonna call motif A. Say A must be the well motif. Okay, so we have 5 1 5 4 3. Then we have it again 5 1 5 4 3. So because we're repeating this idea, this is a self-contained idea. And if you're saying, well, what on earth is a motif anyway, Dan? I've heard people talk about it, but no one ever really explained to me. Well, a motif is the smallest recognizable musical idea. And if you're going, that still doesn't seem like a pretty watertight definition, because what if Sally recognizes it and I don't? Yeah, you've correctly identified the flaw in the system. However, even though it's an imperfect system, it still works pretty well. So we're going to use it. So we have, and if you're wondering the difference between the first 5 and the second 5, it's that octave relationship where the hertz or the way the sound wave is vibrating is actually doubling. So here we go. That's motif A. Then we're going to repeat motif A. Now here's time for motif B. Oh, which brings it in with such a cool sound with the flat 2 and the flat 7 combined with this right here, this 3. This creates a sound that we can call Phrygian major. Phrygian means we're going to have the flat 2 and the flat 7. Sometimes also the flat 6, but we're not hearing a 6 here, so I'm still going to call it Phrygian major anyway. And then major means we have the flat 3, and let's use a little bit of, excuse me, just the regular 3. So here's the major. Here's what, well, also here, real talk, all of this is contributing to the major here. And then all of this over here is contributing to the Phrygian sound. So we get a Phrygian major sound here in the melody. Absolutely beautiful. Let's keep it cooking with cool, cool whip. Nope. Cool, cool. I'm sorry, I'll say that again. Cool, cool. By the way, that is a deep cut reference to you for a 60s radio show. Now, if you're going, Dan, why the 60s music references and the 60s radio show references today? I don't know what to tell you other than I guess I'm just feeling like a boomer. So, you know, here we go. Next up. And there's the lick. Oh, love it. That's an octave lick again. Beautiful. Love it. Yeah, I think we've already heard this chord progression, if I'm not mistaken. And also melody, but done up a little bit differently, no doubt. Now, I put as a vote, if you haven't voted, vote in the vote. So we hear this sound right here. And my question to you is, what do you think this is? That's doing the melody right now. Do you think this is A hammered dulcimer, B, a harp, or E, a harpsichord? Again, do you think it is A hammered dulcimer, B, a harp, or E, a harpsichord? And if you're saying, well, yeah, maybe it's a harpsichord, maybe it's a harp, maybe it's a hammered dulcimer, maybe it's all three. Maybe a hammered dulcimer, a harp, and a harpsichord had a night of passionate romance, and after that, we got this sound right here. I don't know what to tell you. Let's keep on cooking. Like what? Okay, well, I can honestly say I was not expecting that to happen. And something to point out is what we're hearing, we heard it in Dire Docks and also here, is fundamentally the level of form that we hear. There's like an A idea, there's an A form. So there's like a whole bunch of music that happens. Then there's like some type of B idea. Sometimes there's a C idea. And then what happens is the A, B, C, and then maybe even there's a D idea. The A, B, C, E, D. I know how the alphabet works, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If Johnny tells you that I don't know how the alphabet works, Johnny, don't trust Johnny. Okay, so we got A, B, C, and D. Now here's the thing. When it repeats, something is added. So here we heard like the ghostly cowbells, the Christopher Haunton. Yeah, tenuous reference there. I'm dead, and the only thing that'll fix it is more cowbell. Okay, so we hear those sort of ghostly cowbells. Now, what we heard in Dire Docks is the second time through we heard percussion coming in. So we're seeing that there's a pattern too as well here on the Super Mario 64 soundtrack where we'll go one time through the piece of music and then the second time through the piece of music, something is added. Okay, let's keep it going. Keep going. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's break this piece of music down. I'll listen to it one more time, double check my explanation here. We're gonna listen to it at 2x speed for your enjoyment and my efficacy. That's one thing right at the end. Oh, yeah, no, I had it. Okay, cool. So let's break it down. We're gonna break it down. We've got the 1. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Everybody tripping out on the dance. 5. That she wants 1. Everybody in the club has 1. Everybody gets 1 now. I don't know about you. When I heard that Shabuzi song, I was like, not my president. It's like, back in my day, everyone was in the club getting tipsy. We were not at the bar. Like, let me be very clear with you, sir. Tell you exactly where we were. But that's just me. Okay, so let's get back to it. Right, we've got this 1, 5, 1, 4 situation. And now, the reason I color-coded this is to give you an explanation on something called the tonic, subdominant, and dominant areas. So the tonic area is going to be a place of home. The subdominant area is going to be a place of adventure. And the dominant area is going to be a place of tension. Ooh. So we can actually see color-coded in this merry-go-round piece of music the adventure that takes place in the music. We can see the places of safety and home. These would be like your non-combat areas in a game. We can see the areas of tension. That's going to be these red areas here, where there's like, oh, there's something that's needing to resolve. That's, you're in a fight, a mid-boss, a boss, you're in conflict. Then we're back to safety here with the tonic area. Now we go on adventure. So this is like, oh yeah, we could get in conflict around here, but we don't have to necessarily. Like, we could, walk around the bad guys or take a, Pokemon potion that stops us from hitting the wild Pokemon or stops them. Technically speaking, it doesn't stop us from hitting them. It means that, we're avoiding them and repelling. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Okay, and then we have the 5. So right at the end, we have this contrast of 1 back to 5. and then back to 1. And then type a 2 in the chat if this sounds like a piece of music that like you could hear like an Italian grandpa doing something with. That's amore. Going to 4. Here it is. Right, so one of the reasons why it sounds a little like Italian grandpa-y. It's a space pirate actor like my bro overanalyzing this little silly boo carousel. No, I call it appropriately analyzing. All right, so it sounds like a little bit of like an old worldy type thing. You know, whether it's Italian, different other, you know, French, even German, you get these types of chord progressions. So literally this chord progression, I'll put $100 down. I'll put 100 USD down. We could find an Italian folk song. We could find a French folk song. Maybe we could find a German folk song that share these exact chords in this exact order and sequence. Maybe not the same key, but we could find a like traditional piece of music that has this exact chord progression. All right, let's keep it going. Oh, we're still on 2x speed. Sorry, guys. I was like, man, this is going by fast. Oh, way more groovy now. Oh, yes. Come on now. Oh, this is so cool. This is awesome. One man's opinion. Wow. Absolutely, absolutely awesome. That is, just personally, that's my favorite rendition of that there theme I've heard so far in any Mario game. Now I'm going to back this up for a second and bring us back to the beginning for a moment. Hear that shaker going? Now, that little clicking sound you hear, and it's going shave, hair, cut, 10 cents. Shave, hair, cut, 10 cents. Put SH10C. Wait, you what? Put the letter S, letter H, the number 10, the letter C, if you can hear the shave, hair, cut, 10 cents. I'm going to sing it a couple times for you. 10 cents. Shave, hair, cut, 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 10 cents. Wow. All right. So, shave, hair, cut, 10 cents. That's what we call the clave. Clave equals the key. The key that the music can be based on. In this case, not quite so much. It's kind of flown in. But if you listen to some South American music, you will hear different claves done in different ways. And yes, there was a time back in the day where you could get a shave and a haircut for 10 cents. You can thank Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan for taking us off the gold standard for that inflation coming your way. And you can also thank, well, I'm going to stop there before I go off on my little inflation rant. We can check out this next one, which is going to be Piranha Plant's Lullaby. Was it Nixon? Sorry. Thank you, Nixon. I apologize. Yeah, Thatcher. In the 80s, they all got together. And they defined a... I'm not going to go down that path. You can go look it up. Okay, so in our Piranha Plant's Lullaby, we hear the Royal Road chord progression, however it resolves. So we hear a 2 to a 5, and then we hear a 3 minor to a 6. But then we hear the 2 to to the 5, and then it resolves to 1. So right here is where, in fact, I would say that the Piranha Plant Lullaby actually does give up. And I'd say it was running around up here, and then it deserted that course of action for being over here. And I don't feel let down particularly. But that being said, I've got a song I want to sing you real quick. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around or hurt you. Never gonna tell a lie. Never gonna say goodbye. Tell a lie or hurt you. I messed it up at the end there, but hey, you get the idea. So what do we have right there? Give you up, never let you down, never run around or hurt you. Never say goodbye. Tell a lie or hurt you, desert you, whatever. That is actually Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. And if you weren't clued in by all the clues I was dropping for you on the way in, go back, rewind that one. That was cleverly done, if I may say so myself. All right, let's keep going. Oh, cool. Wow. So the big difference we have in Powerful Mario versus, let's say, the original Starman theme is the original Starman theme had the same chord, same key. So we're still in the same key, still in the key of C major. We still have a 2 minor to a 1. All this remains the same. We still have the... Yes, I know I didn't play that perfectly, but you get the idea. We have that melody above it. And then the difference here is the bass line has officially changed from Super Mario Bros. I'm going to call it 1 to 3, as well as Super Mario World, as well as Super Mario Land. We heard the same bass line. And that bass line, if you don't remember, was going to be for... It was going to be for... 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 2, and then it was 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. I know how music works. Don't let anyone tell you this. Okay, then it was 1, 5, 1. I wrote 5, 5. This is what we get for talking and writing at the same time. Okay, let me make this full screen here. Okay, great. Now, the difference here is that the 2 is no longer in first inversion, and we no longer have this bass line here. So everything that we love and know in the bass from Super Mario Bros. 1 through 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario Land, is no longer here in terms of the bass. Bass in the space is a face, space, face in the space. Now, here we have still a 2, but the bass line now has got this sort of bossa nova samba, samba at this speed. Paraphrasing. Really, really cool. So a difference in no longer in first inversion. We're just hearing 1, 5, 1 for each, relative to each chord. But if we were to talk about the notes, we're actually hearing 2, 6, 2, and then 1, 5, 1. If we think about these relative to the C major scale. Let's keep it going. go! Orchestra hits, huh? Yeah, and again, things being added here, but so boom, 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 ba. We've got a 2, 6, 2, and this 2's up an octave, which you know about because you watched from the beginning of the stream, right? And then we have 1. You didn't just skip here from the start, right? You watched the start where I explained to an octave was, and then we have 1, 5, 1, and then again this 1, so it's, and it might come down again. But still, it's not in first inversion, so we're leaving that idea of that original star theme. We've left it behind. I'd like to see it in first inversion, but it's not, and it blows my mind. Let's keep going. Oh, gorgeous. We're gonna do that one again real quick as we go through and check my work. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I said, hey, babe, take a walk on the wild side. What a pretty chord progression. 2 minor, and then we're back to the 3 minor, and then we're to the 4, and here this just repeats. Everyone sing it with me. Okay, so what do we have here in terms of areas? Well, we've got the tonic area here and here. The 3 also is a substitute for the tonic area, which I will explain in a moment. Then we have the subdominant area here, here, and here. And 2 is actually a substitute for 4 for the subdominant area, which I will also explain. So much like Sonic Green Hill Zone, this piece of music is harmonized using primarily tonic and subdominant areas. In fact, yes. Dude. Da da ba da 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 do. Da 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 do. Da 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 da. All right. Here's the mashup you didn't know that you needed in your life. Here is the chords of Super Mario File Select with the melody of Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone. 1 second. Yeah. All Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Okay, so what's happening here is there is no dominant area. You can notice that here. There's no dominant area here. And because there's no dominant area here, it gives us a feeling of continuity and smoothness in the music. And why is 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 interchangeable for the tonic and the dominant area? Well, okay, so the tonic area, the 1 is made out of scale degree 1, 3, and 5. So we have in the key of G, the key of G is a collection of 7 notes, those being G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. We can give all these notes a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the tonic area is 1, 3, and 5. Or excuse me, the 1 chord, excuse me. So the tonic area, we have the 1 chord. We have the 1 chord, and we have the 3 chord. Okay, so the 1 chord is going to be G, B, D. And the 3 chord is going to be, I'm going to write that down here. The 3 chord is going to be B, D, F sharp. So we can see that there are actually 2 out of 3 notes that are shared between the G and the B minor here, the 1 and the 3. So that's why they can be substituted back and forth for a tonic area chord. And in fact, if we think about the G major 7, this F sharp actually is over here too. So really, they share 3 out of 4 notes. So that's why they're so closely related. It's kind of the same color, just 1 note different. It's the same idea for the subdominant area here. If we look at the 2 versus the 4. So here's the 4, and here's the 2. So the 4 is going to have the notes of C, E, and G. And then the 2 has the notes of A, C, and E. And so what do we see? We have 2 out of 3 notes, again, matching between the 4 and the 2 chord, and that's why they can be substituted for one another. All right, let's keep it cooking. Okay, so what do we hear happening in correct solution? Bum, 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 bum. We hear in the melody, in the key of C major, that it's walking up also. Oh no, did I do that? There we go. I did that whole explanation for the tonic and the subdominant. I didn't have the iPad full screen. I'm sorry. Let's make this so I can see what screen I'm on at all times here. There we go. Okay, so in the key of C major, we're going 5, 6, 7, 1, walking up the C major scale, which is going to get the notes of G, A, B, C. And then underneath it, if I'm not mistaken, we can have a DB, 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 and then right here an F, an FB, which creates, if you recall from our explanation just a moment ago, the GBD creates a chord, and here we have the GBD, except here the G major is not the 1 chord, it's actually the 5 chord. And then we bring the F in there, it's not an F sharp, it's an F natural to create a 5-7 chord. And then we hit the 1. Let's keep it going. And we'll just go to the next one. Gorgeous. We'll just keep going. That is... Yeah, that right there is in the key of C major. That's close to our victory fanfare that we heard back in Super Mario 1 of the flat 6, flat 7, 1. There's a little flat 6, 5, flat 6 business up at the front. But ignoring that, that is our victory fanfare from our original Super Mario stuff. All right, let's keep on cooking. Those are significant voices, and if you want to know how I know those are significant voices, it's because one of the other Mario tracks I used for inspiration for writing my first ever lava theme, I was listening to one of the new Super Mario Bros. Tracks, which was Volcano something, and it had those exact voices in it. Wow. Kindly type a 2 in the chat if that is the first confirmed sighting in the Mario series of that particular voice right there. Type a 2 in the chat if that is the first sighting in this series of that. I mean, it's the first one I've clocked. King Peggy says 2. Shout out and thank you to King Peggy. He's been doing some thumbnails for us on this channel. Looking fantastic. Nitro 1, 2. Wow, cool stuff. All right, let's keep it going. Man, what OST did we just listen to where they had the orchestra play the game over thing bad on purpose? This reminds me so much of that. What game was that? That was hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's fun. Let's listen to that again. It was Sonic Unleashed. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. No, it was Sonic Unleashed. Yeah, the E rank in Sonic Unleashed. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, this is Flight of the Bumblebee. This is straight up Flight of the Bumblebee. I'm gonna show you guys Flight of the Bumblebee in a second. It's gonna blow your mind. Plus we have fourths here, which is the danger. All right, type NRK. Type NRK in the chat if you're ready to have your mind blown with a piece of classical music. And I'm going to play this again for you right here, just this front bit. And then I'll play you something else. All right, here's Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, Flight of the Bumblebee. Bro, you hear it? Alright, here's back to the Mario. Now listen to this. All right, so type BB for Bumblebee in the chat if you can hear the connection. Type BB for Bumblebee in the chat if you are getting that. Yeah, it's like basically the same thing. Not exactly the same thing, but it is directionally quite similar. All right, let's check out this next one, which is Bowser's Message. Let's grab that real quick. What is that? Oh, interesting. Now, I might get that first note might be wrong. Cool. Let's keep it going. Indian instruments from like Lethal Lava. As amazing as that was, I see the next piece up as Bowser's theme. I want to go straight there. I'm like a kid in Christmas. I want to know what's inside. Let's do this thing. We are a part of the Rhythm Nation. Oh yeah, it's fading up a little bit. Oh, I'm rocking out with this for a second. Let's play along with this real quick. Thank you for indulging me. That was a lot of fun. All right, so what's going on here? Well, we have this riff. All right. Okay, so that right there is pretty cool. So that's going to be our A riff. And then we have a B riff, and the B riff goes like this. With some variations coming back and forth. A riff goes to B riff. Now there was also a C riff in there, but I just want to talk about those two riffs because those were the easiest for me to pick up on the spot, and we got it, and that was a ton of fun. Thanks for hanging out with me while I jammed out on that. That was cool. Throw a fire emoji in the chat if you enjoyed that, and if you didn't, give it a thumbs down, bro. All right, let's go to the next one. Bowser clear. Gorgeous. Let's keep it going. Ultimate Bowser, there's more. Oh, now it's for real. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Also, that synth sound I've heard in New Super Mario Bros. Is that Surreal K9? Surreal K9. My heart to yours. Great to see you, dude. Right, back to the music. Focus, man. Man, is there anything more evil sounding than like a fugue type thing played on an organ? I don't know that there is. That's just so villainous. And I think what's really cool too is like we heard that rock version of Bowser's Poetry. Like, I think of Bowser's being like a spiked what do you call his bracelets, and like Bowser's a little metal, man. And then hearing that, that's like, oh no, Bowser's getting serious and he's about to attempt to take you out. Like this is legit like, oh no, Bowser's actually planning something evil, is what that sounds like. Let's keep it going. Wow, okay, so that entire piece of music was based around a one... Check this out. That entire piece of music is based around one chord, and that's a 1 sus4/7. Yes, the chord is sus. And if we look at the notes that are in this chord, it's going to be a C, it's going to be an F, it's going to be a G, and it's going to be a B flat, though not necessarily in that order and sequence. Let's keep it going with ending demo. Yeah, Charlie Lizard 64. I don't know how much of a fan you are of Christmas carols. How tender are your branches? Again, that's not the words. Yeah, well, when I sing it, it is. Oh, Christmas tree, how tender are your branches. I munch on them in summertime and have brunch with deer in wintertime. Oh, Christmas tree, how tender are your branches. And if you're not sharpening your teeth on your Christmas tree, I think you're doing it wrong. If you're going, I don't even celebrate Christmas, yeah, you can still get a Christmas tree and sharpen your teeth on it. Just saying. It's not actually a Christmas thing. It's actually a thing, as far as I understand, that goes back to Roman times, those Christmas trees, and it's got an interesting history to it. You might want to look up the history of the Christmas tree. It's a read. It's you will discover things you may not have known before. All right, let's keep it going. let's talk about right there at the end, the minor plagal cadence there, where we had a 4 actually in the key of C sharp at this point at the end, C sharp major, or maybe D flat major. We'll call it D flat major, why not? Okay, we'll call it D flat major. And we heard there was a G flat minor going to a D flat, which creates a 4 minor to one relationship. Now, normally in a major key, 4 is not minor, 4 is major. And so this, especially if you add a 6 to it, creates a melancholy sound. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's keep it cooking. We're going to do one last bonus track for the day. Put BT in the chat for bonus track. This is going to be Piranha Plant's Lullaby piano version. Ah, friends. I'll never tell you a lie. And I'll never say goodbye or run around or hurt you. Thanks for hanging with me on this reaction. I know we call these reactions because, you know, that's what works in the algorithm, but I'd like to think there's a little bit more than that. I like to think that a lot of people, and I hear from people all the time on the channel that say that they're composing music now just from the tidbits that we break down on these streams. And that's so meaningful for me because music has changed my life in so many ways. And it's been the tool that I sharpened myself against to become the person who I want to be and to continue to be the person more of who I want to be. And I know how great of a tool it can be for that. And even though you might not get into it for those reasons, when you chase after it long enough, it becomes that. If you've got eyes to see and ears to hear. And I'm so grateful we get to do this together. I wouldn't be able to do this without you, so thank you. From my heart to yours. Thank you. Truly. I'm so grateful that we get to do this together. And thank you for trusting me to be the person to do this with you. Now, if you want to check out the other reactions, they're going to be over here. Click there in the Super Mario series we're doing. And if you want to see the next in the game, it's going to be Super Mario Deluxe. That'll be over here. Click on that. And right here, if you want to compose your own music, Video Game Music Starter Pack. Click it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and goodbye.